Hello.
Hello, welcome back to Walk with Sue. We haven't done a walk with for ages, as everybody knows, and today we're doing a really special one. We're not walking, but we're showing you the heart, which is the heart of Breast Friends and Family. So I'm going to introduce you to Hazel, who's the founder, and she's going to tell us a bit about the charity, a bit about herself maybe, and then we'll take it from there. So Hazel,
Good morning. Hello. Thank you very much for inviting me. This is very exciting to see what we're doing and giving us an opportunity to tell you a bit about Breast Friends and Family. So me personally, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. The NHS were fantastic. Went through mastectomy, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, hormone treatment. Then had a second mastectomy and double reconstruction. So I went through them. I went through everything. They threw the book at me. But through that, I think when you're going through something like that, you then realise where charities come into play. All of the information leaflets that I was given were from Breast Cancer Now, from Macmillan. And you realise that these charities are providing a much needed service for things that the NHS can't provide. So all of that information I got was from their leaflets, but I was also supported by a small local charity with things like my heart-shaped cushion, that the things that you don't know that you're actually going to need are the small things like that. And after my treatment, I went to help fundraise for them because I thought they really were a small local charity that I wanted to give back to. So I did join them as well to help them fundraise. But sadly, the family decided to close the charity down. And when speaking to the breast care nurses, I said, what are we going to do about this? And they said, well, we can't really do very much. What are you going to do about it? So,
balls in your court.
Absolutely, it definitely was. So I had to go out and find out how to start a charity, what to do. So 3 months into paperwork, and myself, my sister and my mum, we're the founders of Breast Friends and Family. So it came about in April 2018, so we're just about to turn 7 next month. So we've been going for 7 years, and we just wanted, what I said was, we provide the little things that make a big difference. So it's those small things. We carried on a lot of what the previous charity Bosom Buds was doing. So the heart cushion that we give to surgery patients, it's one of the best loved products that we give out.
Really?
It's not just a product for, you use it under your arm if you've had surgery to give you that bit of support, but for me it was when I was lying in the hospital bed. When you're in St John's, not everybody in the ward is in for breast surgery, but when I could see that another woman had this cushion on her bed, I knew, even though I didn't want to talk about it, she was there, and I knew she was going through the same thing or something similar. So you know, that smile, that knowing look, that I knew I wasn't alone. So that's very much the basis of our surgery bags. And that's what we started with, was the surgery bag, just to provide things that, as I say, help women through. We give them, they're having a mastectomy, they get 2 mastectomy bras, which they can choose, but we'll pay for, and just lots of things in the bag that just make them feel a bit of comfort, a bit of knowing that there's people out there to help them, and that we will support them. And information, we also provide information about what's in the bag, what all the things are for. For example, there's a heart stress ball, and it was the nurses that had said to us during lockdown, can you provide an information sheet as to what each thing's for? Because for that one, for example, somebody might look at it and think it's just a stress ball, but actually if you've had surgery, you have to follow your exercise regime. And that's one of the things they said is important for getting that exercise. So as I say, during lockdown we carried on with the bags, and we then added this information sheet for each of the ones that we do, so that ladies knew what the products were for. And then after the surgery bags, we added on chemotherapy bags, so all of the products that we give, you know, wig stands that we get donated. There's sleep caps, thermometers. Again, it's just all the things that we've built up over the year. And having been a patient, you know, I look at it from a patient perspective as well as a charity provision perspective. I can say, well, would I have used that? And you know, the answer is yes. But everything goes through, all of the products go through the breast care team at St John's. So they get to trial them, test them. If it's a cream or a deodorant, for example, they go to the oncologist. They can't back anything, or they can't verify it, but what they'll do is say yes or no, we can't put it in.
Right,
so they can't promote any product, if you like, but they can tell us whether yes or no it can go into the bag. So we do work very closely with them, and we will continue to do that. The radiotherapy bag came about during lockdown because ladies couldn't find simple body wash, so we buy it in bulk.
Right, okay.
And it goes into the bag with a few other little bits and pieces that are helping them through their journey. We've now got a bag that, a pouch as we call it, for ladies who are having oral chemo. So there's again things that are happening to their skin, so we give them products that help with their skin. And we've got, for our secondary patients, we've got a box of hugs, which we can't really give anything that's going to help with treatment, but the box of hugs is essentially what it says on the box. So it's a hug in a box. And it just provides all the little bits and pieces, just some hand cream, some nice smelly things, some chocolate, you know, just bits and pieces that can help with that. So it's all about providing all those products, but we also provide services. We've had a support group since, I think it was before lockdown. I was speaking to a lady I met in a coffee shop. She was a wee bit behind her treatment than me. I'd had a lady that's kind of mentored me through mine. We texted a lot when I was in hospital having my surgery, and it really did help having somebody that knew what I was going through. You know, it's different. You can talk to your partner, your family, the medical team, but to actually talk to somebody who's been there is so much more different. It's so, you know, it's so much more helpful, I think. So I was speaking to this lady, and we met in a coffee shop, and I suddenly realised, you know, she was in tears, I was nearly in tears, and you then realise that there's people around about you thinking, oh, what's going on over there?
I'm probably getting really nosy because there's something going on.
We need a private space for this. This is definitely a need. So I was talking to the Livingston Cricket Club, which they then opened their doors to us on a Sunday free of charge once a month. So we started our support group there, and we had ladies come along. We started off with 3 or 4 ladies, and you know, I was always of the opinion if I could help one lady in her journey, it was well worth opening that door. And it just grew and grew. And then when I moved to Armadale 2 years ago now. And as I always think, some things happen for a reason. My next door neighbour was running the Armadale Resource Centre. She invited me in to have a wee look round, see what the space they had, and again she offered us it free of charge as well because we're a charity. So we were able to have a support group once a month, but we alternated it between Armadale and Livingston. So it gave ladies that hadn't had the opportunity before to travel to Livingston to travel to us, and so it was capturing Bathgate, Whitburn, Armadale, all the little villages around, so we were getting different ladies coming in. So that was really, really helpful in having that space, and it was becoming more, it was getting busier, basically. We were getting more and more ladies. So we used that as a platform to bring along speakers to talk about whether it was lymphedema, whether it was about ladies worrying about the symptoms of secondary breast cancer. We had people to come in to talk about stress management through treatment, all sorts of different things that we wanted to introduce ladies to help them through their journey. We would ask them, is there anything you want us to talk about? We had Lynn from Amina who comes in and does bra fittings. So when you've had your surgery, and like me, you've had reconstruction, your body's always changing. Your bra size is changing, mine just keeps reducing.
I wish that happened to my waist.
I always said that I was at a double D to start with, and I say be careful what you wish for, because I always wished for smaller boobs. So I've got that. But Lynn started coming along. She would talk about prosthesis, partial prosthesis, the bras, the outfit, the underwear, even pyjamas and things that you can get that have got that pocket in it that you can wear. So all of these things we were providing in these spaces. So a lot of the stuff that we do is, you know, we're fundraising for the charity to provide. All of this is funded through donations, from personal donations, from businesses, from people who do things like the Kilt Walk, have afternoon teas like yourself, yours have been fabulous, you know, raising money and awareness through these things. So at the start of last year, I went to see a production of Calendar Girls in Livingston, run by Livingston Players. Now I'd watched the movie long before I'd had cancer, and I think when I watched the production, I think when you've had cancer, you look at things in life in a different way. Adverts for different things catch you, or if you see an advert from Macmillan, or even, you know, they're talking about Maggie's, or you stop and think about it a bit more. And the whole production really did resonate with me, and that these women had done something to raise money in memory of somebody who'd had not breast cancer but had cancer, and that they came out of their comfort zone to do that. So of course, sitting there, I thought, we can do that. We could do that. one of the ladies who then became a calendar girl was also in the audience, and I saw her at the break and she said, I know exactly what you're going to say, Hazel. So I put it out on Facebook and said, is anybody thinking they would like to join us for this? And we met in Dobies in the garden centre. We had a couple of meetings in garden centres. I've got a group together. We started off about 2022, but generally ladies were saying, no, it's not for me, or I've got families that, there's not the right time for me. We ended up with 11 of us to do the calendar, and we've been speaking to businesses. We got Anne from Glitz and Glam to do the photography, and all free of charge. And we were talking to Houston House Hotel, who'd been doing things for. We've had events there, and they said, well, why not come along and use our facility for any of your photo shoots? So that's what we did. So in the morning of our first photo shoot, I was getting ready to go along, but no, I was 5 o'clock up in the morning. I got up and I thought, what are you doing? Is anybody really going to want to take the clothes off in a photograph? And if we do it, is anybody going to want to buy a calendar with us?
Yeah, it was a bit late in the day for realising
that. It actually, it probably was. So we all got there. We were all very nervous, but we'd arranged to have hair and makeup ladies come along to help us, to make us feel a bit more glamorous. Amina had provided a set of underwear for all of us. So we all had nice new brand knickers. Sets that we were
feel
happy.
good about yourself.
We did. It was all about us sharing. We really became a bonded group, and it did have that effect of bringing us all together. We shared lots. Then not just our stories. It was time to take your clothes off, and really they just all stood up and said, "Yeah, we're going to do this."
Brilliant.
And we had a fabulous day. Lots of laughs. Getting it all together, and then when we saw the photographs, I was blown away. We had a couple of other photo shoots. We used the Cricket Club because we wanted to support each of the businesses that have supported us through the year. So each have got a wee advert on the calendar pages.
Brilliant.
If you've got a calendar, you'll see. So when we pulled it all together, I got all the photos together, I invited all the ladies to my house, and we went through them so that they could choose. I said, if there's any photos you're not happy with, then we'll take it out. And to be fair, I don't think there was. We pulled all the calendar together. But we'd had all these meetings in different places, my house, the garden centres, the cricket club. And it was through that I thought, we are meeting more regularly. We do need a space to have these kind of get-togethers. And having driven through Bathgate a couple of times, there was a few properties that I thought, these could actually do something for us. So I went to the ladies and said, this is what I'm thinking about, what's your thoughts? And they were absolutely 100% behind me, just as they were for the calendar. So much so, the next day they all started phoning me and saying, or messaged me, oh, we could get furniture, we can get this, we can get that. And I said, let's find a place first. So the first couple we went to, they weren't the right size, right shape, they didn't have the right amenities. And then I kept driving past this one, and I thought, why have I not been in here? I thought it was too big when I looked at the floor plan, but I thought, no, I'm going to come along and see it. So I came along myself with the agent, had a look round, and I just about jumped up and down because I thought,
absolutely amazing.
This is perfect. So I went home, I put it on our volunteer chat group, and I said, ladies, I found something. I'd taken a few pictures, sent the pictures to them, and I said, does anybody want to come back and see it with me to get a second opinion? So there was 10 of us came back the following week. And the poor agent, I think, must have been a bit overwhelmed because they were all firing questions at him. But everybody, they were all saying exactly the same thing as me. We had Linda, one of the breast care nurses, come along because we wanted to make sure it was going to meet the needs of, medically. Not that it's used for anything medical, but I wanted to make sure that for all patients were covered. So it's on a bus route, it's got a ramp outside the door, it's got a disabled toilet. The main area is all on one level, so it ticked all her boxes. So it was absolutely fabulous. So that all started, trying to think, when we came September, October time, and we got the ball rolling and we got the keys just before Christmas.
It's like a haven. As soon as you walk in, the smell, the calmness, the wall that will show people.
It was just
so lovely.
A home. So I went out to the ladies and said, what we're going to call it. Because we've got havens, we've got hubs, we've got houses, we've got all of these different places, and like everything else we do, we want to be different. So I had asked the ladies for words that resonate with them or had done through their treatment. So they were sending me all words. I had them all in a big list, and I just kept going through this list. And eventually the heart jumped out at me, because the heart is in our logo, and I thought, actually that just works with everything we do. So we decided to call it the heart, the home of Breast Friends and Family.
Yeah.
So as well as
Perfect.
giving us this space, it's allowed me to take the charity out of my house. So I've got my spare room back that my mum can use now without falling over boxes and bags. My garage has been emptied. Everything is in the one place that we have access to now, and now can get people to come, ladies come and help me. They say we're going to be sorting wigs this afternoon. I've got a lady coming along to help me with that. So, and what's been really good about it is the volunteers, they all feel it's theirs. It's not mine, it's ours. You know, they come in and they really feel comfortable. As you say, we've tried to make it inviting, it's homely. All of the furniture that you can show every day, it was all donated. We asked, rather than go and ask people for money to buy things, we said, has anybody got some chairs, tables, anything, you know, cabinets that we could use, that we could repurpose? So, and yet everything was donated. The majority of what we have here is donated. Some people said that they didn't have anything they could donate, so they donated funds to us for us to be able to buy something. So we've got it all set up with our treatment rooms. So our therapist who's been doing the treatments, we give ladies who finish their primary treatment, after treatment they get 4 complementary therapies.
Right, okay.
So we had been using a therapist who had a base, but then she was doing it in her home. She's now got a room. So we've got that, and the ladies can come and see the facility we've got. They can actually feel, you know, what we're trying to achieve. So it's been open, we can do our bra fittings here. So all of the things that we previously provided, we now have a home to provide it in. And it's given us that opportunity to get ladies all together and just provide a safe space for them. I've even got ladies who've said that their children have said, you know, when they've gone past, oh, that's mummy's place.
Oh.
Their grandchildren saying, that's granny's place.
Oh,
That's
it's
where
so
my
lovely.
granny goes, which is really lovely that they're taking ownership and they're, you know, they're helping with the cleaning and all that sort of thing. So it's been really lovely to be able to do this, and I'm very proud of what we've achieved as a team.
You should
and,
be. I mean, it's you've done so well.
You know, as I tell people, this isn't my day job. I do have a day job.
I was going to say that actually. You do have a full-time job.
I do have a job
on top of everything.
And I
else.
work for a company that does. We do activations for events, etc. But we also do printing. They created the flower wall for me a couple of years ago for taking to events. But I went to them and said, I need window graphics because we want to have privacy. We want the windows covered. And I just, because of all these words that the ladies had given me, I wanted a wall. I wanted a word wall, not just a few words on it. So I got them in to measure up, and I just remember James, who came in and he said, that's a big wall. That's a really big wall. And I said, I know. He thought I just wanted a couple of words splashed across it. I said, no, I have a vision and I know what I want. So I spoke to the designer and we created what we now have. And everybody that's come in said, oh, wow. And I said, that's what I want, the words to hit you in the face.
Wall.
I want the words to hit you in the face, and that you will pick out a word every time you walk in that door. And I do. Every time I come in, it's a different word. I didn't want them to be, ladies thought they were going to be tiny, that they were going to have to walk up to the wall and squint at them, but I said no, I want them to look at that wall and pick out a word for today, and that's what they do. So my work are very much behind me, and the Evolve Group, they have been super, and you know, creating what I have as a vision.
And you definitely have your vision.
So I know what I'm looking for. But to do all of this, we need funds.
Which takes us on to the
fundraising. So as I said earlier, we do, you know, we've had coffee mornings, we've had Christmas fairs, we've had a casino night. We try to do something every time we're doing something, because a lot of the supporters that come and support us, they do it time after time. So we don't want them to come to the same thing again and again, and they know what they're coming to. We always want to be a wee bit different. So we've done all of that. We did our first fashion show in 2019 before lockdown. And really that came about because Breast Cancer Now do a massive fashion show. They do one in Glasgow and one in London. And I had applied for it, and a few ladies in West Lothian always apply, and that particular year none of us got into it. And Linda said it's unusual for somebody in the area not to get in, and she said, why don't we do it ourselves? And I said, oh, right, okay. Now, I had been in a fashion show. I'd been picked to do one for, it was a charity called Butterflies Charity that worked in West Lothian, and they were supporting that year Booze and Buds and Cojones. So they were doing both. So I knew what it was about. I knew how nerve-wracking it was. I knew, you know, all about it, and I thought, we can do that. So we did our first one at Norton House Hotel in 2019. Obviously had to stop for lockdown. The one that we planned after lockdown, we changed it and did a a disco boogie with your besties fundraiser that night.
Uh-huh.
And then last year, 2023, we did one in October. We always try and do a fundraiser at the start of the year, April, May time, because our birthday's in April, and one in October because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we did it that year in October, and decided we can't do one every year, it's just too much work for myself and the breast care team. So last year we did our calendar, which we then promoted at the start of this year. So Linda said, let's do one in May this year. So we've got our 12 ladies, as you well know.
Yes, I am a model.
You are going to be one of the ladies strutting our stuff at the View.
Yes.
So the View are very kindly supporting us, and we have the venue booked for the 9th of May. You've all had your colour session with Lee Maybury, who runs our business Life with Style, so she's going to provide some of the outfits.
Yes.
Our photographers, Anne from Glitz and Glam, she again is going to do her photography, along with her husband, who I believe is going to have some drones to come in and do some overhead shots, because the View, if anybody's not been there, it's a beautiful location. Have everything crossed for a lovely day. But we also have Howard and Julie Rusger, who have been doing our photographs since we started, so they're going to be there on the day as well. So it means we're going to capture everything.
Right.
We'll get the ladies, they'll get their hair and makeup done. So it's a pamper day, it's for a day for the charity to spoil you ladies. Amina again have offered underwear, so you're all going to get a nice new set of underwear. We've got lots of little things that'll be a surprise. We like to keep some of it secret, and as you're one of them, I'm not going to share. So lots of things going to be going on, and it's just a day to celebrate you ladies and what you've been through. Your friends and family have seen you at your lowest, probably, and this is going to be an opportunity for them to see you, perhaps if they've never seen you before. We encourage ladies to wear things that they perhaps wouldn't have worn before. They'll have their hair done, your makeup done. We're going to spoil you. We'll get your nails done. We'll spoil you rotten that day, but it gives you a chance to walk out in front of your family and friends and say, see, this is me. I've beaten this. I'm getting through it. I'm living my life as best I can, and that's what we want to show, is that showcase where you've been to where you've got to. We ask you to share your story, or a little bit of your story, just so that we can tell the people what you've been through, and we put all that together in a book, so that the patients, the ladies, can take it away with them, and they've got it as a bit of a memory to keep. We always talk about people making memories, and this is one that will stay with you for the rest of your life. But we also use
as long as I don't trip, because I stick them in for a totally different reason.
Absolutely not. But we're using it as a fundraiser. Do you know, it's called our fundraising fashion show. So, but we try to keep the ticket price as low as possible, because we want your family and friends all to come. We don't want to make it an expensive evening. But our main fundraiser for that is our raffle. As you know, we've already been selling raffle tickets. We'll sell as many as we can, and we've been asking the ladies to donate raffle prizes, and we've got some fabulous prizes, a couple of which I think we're going to auction on the night. There's a couple of prizes that if you got as a raffle, some people, it's one of those love or hate things, so we're going to keep a couple of those secret, and we'll have an auction. But that's our fundraising part of it, is we'll do some raffles on the night. We might do an envelope raffle just for some special prizes on the night as well, but it's all about you and the ladies that are going to take part in it. But
it's really emotional, actually. I'm not the most emotional person in the world, and when I came here for the first meeting, it was kind of like, oh my goodness. It's not about the actual fashion show, it's about all the other things, I think, that makes you think about what you've been through.
And I think you'll find that, like the other fashion shows and the calendar we did, you'll bond with those ladies, you'll find, and that's one of the reasons we called it Breast Friends. Because I've now got friends that I would never have had, and never had the opportunity to meet had I not had breast cancer. So that's why we called the charity Breast Friends, and we want to involve the families in it. So that evening will be, and it's like here in the heart, there's a box of tissues on every table, because it can be emotional, and it's not emotional because you're sad. It's because when you come here, you get the opportunity to. Ladies tell me they feel their shoulders just drop, and it lets the emotions out. So and they get the opportunity to share. But on the night of the fashion show, it's your family and friends that'll be emotional. There'll be tissues on every table there, and believe me, they're used. As soon as we start telling your story, it just knocks them for six. And it's not that they don't know the story, but it does actually make them think about it in a different way,
because they've been through it with you, kind of. So it's not. You're making it smaller almost. And
it's just to say, this is where you've been. This is you, this is how you've come through it, and you couldn't do it without their support,
Yeah.
and that we're thanking them for being there for you,
Yeah.
And giving them the opportunity to support and celebrate what you've been through. So it is an emotional. We tell people that it will be emotional, and it's not just your story that will catch them. It's everybody else's. Because everybody's stories, even though I was naive enough to think that breast cancer was breast cancer, it was the same. Everybody was exactly the same. It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
As you know, we've all been through a slightly different journey. We've all got different treatment plans. Some have had chemo, some not. Some had chemo before surgery, some haven't had surgery. The chemo's managed to shrink tumours. There's just so much going on, and I think when you listen to everybody's stories on the night, it is very emotional, and the people, everyone there realises what that group of women have been through, and that, you know, the bravery to stand up in front of people. And we're not going to ask you to tell your story, we'll have somebody else tell it for you, but to have somebody tell your story, and it makes them, you know, they'll be very proud, absolutely proud, but it will be emotional as well, but it's a great opportunity, as I say, for us to spoil you, you know, to spoil that small group of women, and to celebrate what you've been through, and to do a bit of fundraising for the charity to help us carry on doing what we're doing. So I'm so delighted that you agreed to do it.
I'm looking forward to it, actually. It's so out of my comfort zone, but again, I think I'd mentioned, you know, if we've been through what we've been through, I can do this.
No,
you know?
absolutely.
And it is to raise money for a really good cause.
No, hopefully we'll raise lots. And get your raffle tickets from you.
Yes, so get I've got raffle tickets that I can share with you. You can buy them from me. But if there's any people or businesses or anything as well that would like to donate any prizes, we're still looking for raffle prizes.
Anything goes, from vouchers to anything really. We've had lots of whiskey and gin and bottles and gift sets, and, you know, anything goes. It's I always say to people, if they want to donate something, what would you like to win in a raffle? So yeah, we've had people, we've got I think Tony Macaroni's donated a voucher, we've got hairdressers, beauticians, lots of different vouchers. You know, I've said to people, you know, if you don't know how much somebody wants to spend, you can say, well, you know, an overnight stay in a hotel or an Amazon voucher, anything. Anything would be greatly appreciated, and it helps us sell the raffle tickets, and it helps us raise money for the charity. So, and it means all of the raffle money goes straight to the fundraising. Brilliant. Straight
so I'll keep on with my raffle tickets.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. It's absolutely gorgeous. You're in a powerhouse. You really are. You're a force to be reckoned with. The things that you do on top of
it's a passion. I say to people it's my hobby, because I do have a day job, but it's not just a hobby, it's a passion. I want to support other women the way I was supported, and you know, and it's great to see women on their journey when I've seen them at their lowest. And like, as I say, the fashion show is always a fantastic night for the nurses are there as well, the breast care team, so it's great for them to see how far some of the patients have come as well. So it's a great opportunity. But thank you very much.
Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you.
And we'll be in touch. We'll let everybody know how well we're doing with the fundraising.
Yes, absolutely.
And thanks for your time.
No problem at all.
Thank you very much. Bye.